Get ready. Get ready. Come on. Get ready for Betty, Tracy, Michelle, Phyllis, and Stephanie. A new show called Good Grief, Good Gossip, Good God, call it G3. Education, celebration, transparency. There's no subject that they won't tackle if it uplifts you and me. Good grief, good gossip, good God, G3.
Hi, this is Eddie Baye, and welcome to this edition of Good Grief, Good Gossip, Good God. As you can see, we are coming to you remotely from our homes. We've all found a spot where we can, be safe. Wave, ladies. And we really do appreciate you checking us out. But we wanted to do a show tonight because we are in very serious times on so many levels. And we wanted to talk about coping through COVID. And everybody has different strategies. As you can see, we are 5 different women, 5 different personalities, 5 different lifestyles. We are married, we are single, we have children, we are young, we are middle-aged. We have all of those things going on. So everybody has different strategies. So we're going to talk about a few strategies for coping in this very difficult time where we've got a pandemic, we've got an election, controversial election, we've got race issues in the street. So there's a lot going on for us to absorb in our lives that were already probably complicated on some level. So I want to throw it to my co-host, Stephanie Lackey, to talk about some of her strategies for coping through COVID. Stephanie?
Hello, thank you, Betty. Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in this evening. I don't have the magic answer for coping with COVID. All I can say is, for me, I start my days with true meditation for about 45 minutes, just me, my mind, and God, just getting away in my mind, and I'm going to the beach in my mind, just having that serenity. And I have an app on my phone where I actually play the sounds of the waves in the background, and I just float away in my mind, and just me and God, and I'm just laying all my burdens on Him during my meditation time. And so I do that every single morning for about 45 minutes, and then I go deep into the Word for another 10 to 15 minutes. That's my time with Him, and that's how I set the tone for my day. Because we can't control what's happening out here with this pandemic, or what's happening in our personal or public lives, but what we can control is how we respond to it. Another thing I love to do, if you know me well, I love being on my bike. I enjoy it. I love being out in nature. And again, I have God pushing me up those hills, helping me just to make it through the ride. But just that serenity of being out in nature and just inhaling that wind, it just does something for me. And it just helps me deal with anything that I have to encounter during the day. And there's times where, during the day, you'll have, I know I do, anxiety, whatever it may be. It's like, when is this COVID season going to be over? Enough is enough, right? But we know we have faith. And one of my models is faith is my foundation. So, I try to trust and stand on that. And I just know that there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel, right? If we just put our trust in God. So that's some of the things I do. I would like to show you a little clip. Check out this video of me on one of my bike rides.
Good morning. It's Stephanie Lackey, one of your hosts from Good Grief, Good Gossip, Good God. I'm on the tail end of a 25-mile ride this morning. This is one of the things I love doing first thing in the morning. Getting my ride in. It's just me, nature, step on my bike, and God. This is so wonderful to be out here this morning. Beautiful weather. I was up with the sunshine, and so just want to share this little brief moment of my morning regimen. I'm going to go ahead and finish up. You all have a fabulous day. God bless and be well.
Now, I would love to hear from one of my co-hosts. Hey, Phyllis, how do you cope through COVID?
Hey, Tracy, thank you so much. Look, I just call you Tracy. Big Stephanie. Love you, girl. I do several things. I love how you mentioned just waking up for a check-in with yourself. And one of the first things that even before my feet hit the floor, I'm always thinking God. And the other thing I've started to do recently is to do a slow count to 10 and ask myself how I'm feeling. And if I need to stay in bed another 15 minutes, I will. If I'm ready to jump up in 5, I will. And so I was listening to one of my silent mentors, I have a lot of those, and she talked about doing that for herself and just to understand what all aspects and all parts of your body and your mind are feeling like. And so I said, let me try this. And it really did help me with my anxiety and things like that. The other thing that I've started to do is to think about, especially when I'm in the shower, I kind of just drill down my day. And all of the things that I'm thinking about start with B. And so it's like, I want to think about my bills. I want to think about my babies. I want to think about my books. I want to think about, so everything is, so I just kind of drill down in my day and figure out what are the most important points that I need to focus on. And then everything else circling around all that will have a place in the day. But when I think about how I want to be productive and the things that have to get done, I'm focusing on the things that I came up with, during my time with myself. So that's another thing. And then, y'all, let me tell you, September 1st, I made an agreement with myself to start walking every day. And while it has not been, I'm not trying to be perfect, I'm trying to be intentional. And so I have been doing that. This is the first time that I have been this consistent with a workout plan for myself. And all I want to do, as much as I want to kickbox and follow all these fancy V-shreds and stuff like that, I can't do it. What I can do is walk. And so I try to get a mile in, and I'm going to take 1 second. I think I did a little time lapse for you all, just to share my truth real quick. And I've never, ever done this before. No one ever, but my kids and my hubby have seen me working out. So take a look at this just to show y'all how I'm being truthful. So I hope that helped you understand that if I can do it, you can do it too. It actually has been a lot of fun. And what I got was earlier this year, I got a scale. Forget pounds. I'm looking at the other part. I'm looking at muscular skeletal. I'm looking at water and density. And so even just 2/100ths of a point of body fat leaving me is amazing. And so I celebrate that. Forget a pound, forget that. Now that's fun too, right? And then I just try to go in with an affirmation for the day. So I'm thinking about what God wants me to do. What would He have me do today? What is the next best thing that I need to do to serve others today? And so I have some other goodies that I want to share a little bit later. So I'm going to throw it off now to who? Is that Michelle or Tracy? Take it away, one of you all.
Okay, I will go. And if you guys notice, I've been writing, so I'm taking notes because I was really pumped about this show because I need a little help, a little motivation. When this all started in March, and we started working from home, I approached it as a challenge, like, okay, this is a setback, but we're going to get through this. I enjoyed working from home. It was nice not having to commute into the office. I've been spending more time with my family, so I really love that. But I have to say now, 6 months in, I'm tired. I'm weary, and I need some motivation. So I love, Phyllis, how you were talking about not being perfect, but doing one thing. And, you know, I heard stories of people at work saying, oh, well, I'm getting up every morning and I'm working out and I'm doing this. And I was like, yeah, me too. But I wasn't, you know, because I wasn't there yet. And so I think that just hearing that just doing one thing or something small gets you to the bigger thing. And Stephanie, your app, I want to know the name of that app that has the meditation, because I think that would be helpful. But you know, so I at the beginning, again, felt like this is something that we all will get through, but I see a light at the end of the tunnel. And one of the things that I will share sort of early, my good gossip, in the very beginning, I was looking back at a presentation that I did back in March or April, and I found a quote from Duke Ellington, who we all know, he is famous jazz musician. And one of his quotes is, was, a problem is a chance for you to do your best. And so I had to reflect back on that now as I was preparing for this show and think, okay, all the things that we're experiencing, they're problems, and it's an opportunity for us to do our best. And so I'm hoping that when we come through this storm, or at the end of the storm, I'm better in some way. Maybe it's physically, maybe it's emotionally, maybe my family is better because we're closer. And so that's what I'm trying to think about. But it has been a struggle. So I'm so happy to hear some of the things that you guys are doing. So maybe next time we get together, I'm gonna have a video and you guys will see me on my bike.
And the name of the app is called Insight Timer. It's a free app. Yes, you're gonna love it.
Insight Timer, okay.
How about from our sister, Michelle? Michelle Mabel.
Ooh, Lordy. When I say God is an on-time God, and we said when we first started this show that we were going to be very transparent and helping people to get to know us better. And I'm going to be very transparent. I am in a moment right now where I'm struggling, you guys. I'm just being very honest about I'm like Tracy in the beginning. I was like, oh, we can do this. I was trying to just stay positive, but I'm at a point now where it's just, I struggle on a day-to-day basis. And I know I'm not the only one, but I'm just being very honest and transparent that, you try to put on that happy face because everyone's like, oh, she's smiling, Michelle, she's got it all together. But there's days, where I don't have it all together, where I'm crying when you don't see me smiling. So I'm just being honest that, I'm struggling with this. I've had this week has just been a tough week. Just the idea of my child going back to school, the decision coming down with everything in our city, it's a lot. Now, one moment I'll be fine, and then the next moment, I was telling my boss earlier today, I'm just bawling my eyes out. It's just a lot going on. But for me, how I cope, probably similar to several of my sisters here. First thing I do in the morning before I can put my feet on the ground is say my prayers and read my scriptures. There's a Girlfriend in God's app that I use that I share with several of my friends on social media. I read that first thing every morning and our daily bread. That's just how I get my day started. I'm like Stephanie, we're similar in that aspect. I'm a beach girl, so I'm always listening to any app I can that has the beach playing in the background because that's my happy place. And as you all know, COVID's pretty much shut us down on traveling, so I haven't really been able to see it. So I have to pretend I'm there with my apps and the sounds in the background right now. That's how I get through the day. And then another thing, like Stephanie said, when I decided last year when I turned 49, I'm on my road to 50 here in about a month. I was determined that I was going to get in shape going into 50. And I've been like my sister Phyllis, like Stephanie, I've been working out twice a week. That's my release outside of my scripture and my prayers and just leaning on my friends and family. And, I'm going to say it's okay to cry. Don't feel like you're weak if you're, it's that you're holding all that in. We have to get that out. So that's one thing I definitely want to say to our listeners as I'm being transparent, let it out, because holding it in is not healthy for you. That can lead to other health issues. But in addition to reading my scriptures, saying my prayers, working out has been my release. Dewan Means and his wife, they see me coming there, he can see the look on my face if it's been a rough week. But just getting on the treadmill, him pushing me and just seeing the difference in my body from a year ago has been my motivation to keep going. I'm like Tracy, I don't have a video. Like Stephanie and Phyllis, maybe next time. But right now, I just want to encourage all of you all just to know we are going to get through this. It's okay if you're not okay. Tell somebody that you're not okay. Don't feel like, oh, I'm weak or there's something wrong. If you're struggling, like I said, I'm being very honest. I'm in a point where today I'm struggling today, but being on the show, being able to say it and get it off my chest is therapy and helps me to feel better.
Well, so Michelle, what about, you said the changes that you've experienced with your trainers. What have you gained, muscle, lost weight? I mean, what's happened?
And I'll be very honest. I started out I think I was at around 160, Tracy, when I started. It's a lot of people said I couldn't see it. I'm like, yes, thanks for my best friend. And I'm down to 145 now, and now we're working on tone.
That's great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going to be transparent. I have not been working out. I've been working that refrigerator, okay? So I have picked up some weight. I am not ready to go back in the gym yet, but I have talked to my trainer, and he bought me some ropes and pulleys, and even physically, I'm not able to do what I used to do, but he is going to be over the phone with me, and I'm going to do the exercises that I can do in my house. And I'm talking to the senior women now. I came from the doctor, and one of the things that he said to me, I don't have rheumatoid arthritis, but I have osteoarthritis. So there's some things that I'm just not able to do anymore, but I can do something. So you all have encouraged me to do something, and you all really don't want to see a video of that, okay? We are not going to see a video of me. But as many of you know, beside, meditating and thanking God every day, for me, what gets me through the day is music. I listen to music as much as I can because it does something for me. I tell all of my news junkie friends, sometimes you have to turn it off, because some days I cannot stand to hear certain voices. I cannot stand to hear the repetition. I know that we have to vote, but I have to take a break from some of that and to create for myself some positive space. The other thing I do as somebody who is a senior, late at night, I play word games or Scrabble online with the computer just to try to keep my mind, because you can really get, atrophy during this period. And again, I envy people who have other people in their houses with them. But sometimes being alone, the people who have people in their houses say, well, we'd like to be alone. So we're all in, different places. And that's what I think I love about this show. The way we envisioned it was to just look at us intergenerationally, professionally, all the different things that we do. So I just say to my senior saints, I do a lot of looking at my pictures. I live a lot with my memories. I think about people in my family that I love that have gone on. I just lost my first friend in Louisville, just passed away unexpectedly. So I've had moments of sadness. And then I knew that I was doing good when I could reflect on the good times that we had. I just had to get there. And that is really sort of, my good gossip. It says when a prayer is answered, there's no need to cry. But I know that God gave me tears. And so I'm just at that point in my life where I'm very reflective, very grateful. I was interviewed for Transition magazine, and they asked me a question, and they said, if you had to leave everything behind, what is the one thing you would take? And I said, my pictures, my photographs, because that is what I cherish. All this other stuff is just stuff. The furniture, all of that. But my pictures are precious to me, and my pictures are what I want to pass on to my family. So yes, it's difficult, but at all stages of our lives, we can do a little something. But the mind is what we really have to keep strong. We have to beat back those feelings of sadness. They're legitimate, they're real. This is a very sad time, but we have to really go forward and work on it. If you need therapy, We need to figure out how to get you some help to talk to somebody, because Black women have this notion we can do it all, and we think that crazy is normal, and it's not. And so I would just say to my sisters, and I'm talking to my generation of sisters, look at your pictures, remember the good times, play yourself some good music. I don't drink wine, but if you have a little glass of wine or something, just to say, I'm still here, God. And as long as we're still here, God has something for us to do. And I'm optimistic that we're going to get through this. I miss you. But this is the way we communicate now. And the good part about this is you only have to look good from the top up. And nobody knows what you got on the bottom. So ladies, we don't have to worry about all that other stuff in the closet. Just put on some good jewelry, some earrings, and cheer yourself up. But I just feel like I'm just so glad to be alive. And I'm glad that I'm here to tell the story of the people that I love who no longer are and who gave me so much importance. So I'm going to work out, and please somebody help me to drink more water, because they keep saying something's happening. I got to drink more water, and I'm not. And so I've got to do that. And there are just things that happen. And as if you're blessed, you get to be older. But when you get to be older, you know that there's some things you just can't do. So Stephanie can ride that bike 30 miles or whatever. I'm not riding the bike. Okay.
Miss Betty, we're going to get you one of those water jugs that tells you, you know what I'm talking about, Stephanie, that has different times on it. I'm going to order you one today. I have one.
Really?
It's a jug, and it has different times throughout the day. So we're going to get you one of those.
Okay, well, check me into it, because I really need to have water, because my little kidney numbers are not great. I mean, they're okay, but they're not great. So when you get on the borderline and stuff, and you know that there's stuff that you can do to help yourself, I think that's it. So I want my water bottle.
Yes, ma'am.
And I need and I need to see you all's faces. And I should say also, looking at church, Bible study, all those things help me to have a sense of normalcy, even though it's not in the same kind of space. And good grief, good gossip and good God is giving me something else to focus on other than myself. So I don't know who wants to talk next, because we can talk all over each other.
That's great, Betty. I wish you could see, because I got goosebumps when you were talking, like some of the things that you were saying about your friends and memories. And so that, I think you hit it right on the head there, just reflecting on, memories and things like that. So that's awesome. Thank you.
And it always helps to have a little John Coltrane in the background, little Miles Davis, a little Will Downing will take you there, okay? Particularly when your man is gone, you just pretend that you still got that going on.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you said, you mentioned, okay, yeah, Stephanie may be 30 miles. I'm not riding my bike. I think the key is finding what you're passionate about.
Exactly.
What you like to do and hone in on that. And I love the fact that Phyllis said, small celebrations, right? Because you may go into this thing, I'm going to lose 50 pounds. Well, you may lose 2, right? For whatever reason, because everybody's body composition is different. Celebrate that losing those 2 pounds. Losing just a % of fat, whatever it is, celebrate it. You should. You put that effort in, celebrate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we're going to get back in those clothes with zippers and buckles. We've been in this loose stuff so long, we can all lie to ourselves for a little longer, but we know the truth.
Right.
Yes, because yoga pants and t-shirts have become my wardrobe here lately.
Oh, definitely. I throw a piece of jewelry on while I'm working, just to kind of fashion it up, but other than that, that's it.
So with you. Miss Betty, and there was one thing I wanted to mention. I love how you talked about, we mentioned that on our conference call the other day, the Scrabble game. I think that's great, and a great thing to just remind our listeners. I know we're getting comfortable in our homes, but just doing things to stimulate our mind is always a plus right now. So I did download the Scrabble game after you mentioned that on our call the other day.
Well,
I wanted to mention some good gossip real quick. So I am in the last year of my PhD program. Thank God for that.
God bless you, girl.
Thank you. But the one thing that is helping me to get through that is that I have a small cohort of Black women scholars have a group me. And so every day there is someone who loves to send other types of affirmations. And there's one that just stung me. And I've been thinking about that one every day along with others. And so I want to read that because I think somebody else could use this. And it says, stop wondering if God heard you and start wondering if you heard God. And I know, so y'all know that little meme with that little boy where
Yeah.
you know, that's me thinking about this.
Yes.
That has been me. And but if we just flip it to think more focused about what it is that we're not doing and stop waiting on something to happen, then I think we may be able to flourish just a little bit better, even for the hour. Not even the day, just for the hour. To stay,
good one.
Stay on. Yes. So,
Yeah.
yes.
So you hit the nail on the head with that one. That kind of, I'm going to piggyback on that. Our beautiful sister, Miss Beverly Jones, you all know her from church. I have a plaque when we moved to the house that I have hanging in my kitchen. And I know you all have heard it before. If God doesn't get you out of something, he will get in it with you. And that kind of piggybacks on what Phyllis was saying about, well, we're wondering if he's heard us, but that just, you just hit the nail on the head. I really needed to hear that. And I know a lot of people are wondering, okay, is God hearing me? Or is he listening to my prayers? Why are these things happening? There's been so much going on here lately, or this whole year. But we just have to continue to lean on our faith and know that he hears us, and we just got to, even though it's hard, because I know I am a grace case, and patience is one of my struggles. I want it when I want it, right then, right there, and then just having to sit still, sit on my hands, be like, okay, God, what's your answer, or what was the lesson in this heartache and things of that nature. I know it's hard. It's very hard, but we just got to continue to trust him and be patient as hard as it is.
Yes, and to be back off of that, there's different ways we can look at this pandemic, right? So this pandemic, I'm also in a group of entrepreneurial women, and we talk about different ways of looking at this pandemic. And you can look at it as a divine blessing, a divine punishment, or a divine test. And for me, I think it is a divine test. Every cross is a test. It is a call to love more, especially to love God and your neighbor more, even when it is difficult and stressful and anxiety-ridden. During this pandemic, let's seek out small and not so small ways to serve those around us who may be struggling, because they see no more meaning in a time of pandemic. Let's love like Christ. I just found that to be so powerful. Different ways to look at this pandemic, right? And we actually have choices to choose how we want to look at it. It's difficult. Trust me. Sometimes I'm a half dressed up mess. You know, no one knows that, but being, like Michelle said, being truly transparent, it's just not easy. When I think about God's goodness and his grace and how he has kept me, I have not gone without a meal. You know, I still have shelter. You know, just think about the small things. I can still get on a talk show with all my lovely sisters, right? So there's different ways we can look at that, and I just think that's.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
Casey, dear, you want to add a little more to this conversation, because you know we Black girls, we can talk.
I know we can talk. Well, you know, I might be the timekeeper because I think we might be coming close to time. And again, I'm with Stephanie here that this is a test that will be a testimony for all of us. So I really thank you guys for this today. Just again, inspiring me and encouraging me and giving me an opportunity to put on some makeup, because I've been getting very, very lax lately. I mean, I started out up here, and now when I'm on my calls for work, I'm just kind of, you know, I'm lax. So thank you for this opportunity, because I went ahead and put on some makeup and jewelry. And so that makes me feel really good, actually.
Well, you know, I get up every day like I'm going somewhere. I take a shower, I put on makeup, I do the whole thing, and I'm going out to the mailbox. You know what I'm saying? And I have to make up my bed, put on my makeup. That's to just tell somebody, because I just can't look at myself every day the same. So I act like I have somewhere to go. And just in case somebody rings my doorbell, I can say, hi.
I love it.
So I do that, and it's so crazy. People say, "Why are you making up your bed? Nobody's coming in." Because I don't know. I may have to have the ambulance come. You know how your mother said you gotta have some things in place in case you clean panties and whatever, because you just don't know. So I don't want my house to come. People come to my house and go, "Oh my God," So the rest of it is a mess, but the bed is made up. And I'm made up.
Love you, Miss Betty.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's me going to Walmart. I mean, that is like my biggest thing is going to get my groceries at Walmart on Tuesday at 7 a.m. Isn't it crazy? I even put mascara on. It's like, I mean, this is like ridiculous. I'm like, oh, I'm going to Walmart today. I can put on mascara.
Tracy and Stephanie, that's me going to Kroger. I'm excited. We're going to make groceries.
And we wear our masks too. We do wear our masks, so we need to say that.
Yes.
This is real. Brothers, whoever's listening to us, this is real. You need to wear your mask.
Yes.
And it's not just about yourself, it's about protecting the rest of us. So we can go out. I saw a sister today at the doctor's office. The eyes were on fleek, as y'all call it. Fleek? Is it fleek or flake or something? The eyes were fabulous. She said, I have to wear this mask, but the eyes, she had the lashes and everything. I said, girl, you are fabulous. She was fabulous.
That's right.
Mask and wash your hands, please.
Yes, because we want to live.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right.
Tracy, you want to take us out, baby girl?
Well, I guess I will. So thank you all for joining us today. And my sisters, thank you all for this conversation. I hope that we can do it again soon in person, safely. So I can't wait for that day. So again, tune in next time for Good Grief, Good Gossip, Good God. This is Tracy. I'm saying bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.